appreciate you tuning in today. As the title says, we're actually gonna go over to my buddy's house. His name is Derek. He's kind of a Toyota fanatic.
Morning, baby.
And he gets some seat time in. He's pretty good at drifting, or at least he's getting a lot better. He's got a few IS300s. He has a few different builds. He's been in a few different accidents, so he kind of has been picking and pulling from what he can, and finally got a new body that he's going to be building on soon. So a lot of content surrounding that coming soon. However, right now we're just doing something basic. He finally found another IS300 that's more dailyable, and he's gonna keep it a little bit more clean. We're gonna go ahead and replace an axle on that, and we'll take you through the process. Heads up, if you do like the video, like and subscribe. That really does help me. I appreciate your support, and let's get to it.
Good people, so here's the situation. This is where your axle goes. This is your rear spindle. This is where it meets the differential. So you're using an 8mm hex bit rather for those bolts. This is a 36mm socket. The stock one is 32, I believe. However, we got these aftermarket axles that have a larger nut on the end of them. So yeah. We'll get to all this stuff. So the bolt holes aren't exactly aligned right now. So what he's trying to do is just to align the, what is this outer coupling called? I have no idea. Actual bolt holes for the CB axle here. So just want to make sure these bolts can pass through. So, pro tip, these differentials in the part of the axle that meets this little cup on the differential, they tend to rust. Basically what you want to do, which we had already done, is put some anti-seize on the inside of this. But let's see if we can slide this in. All right, you got the axle side through. I got the castle nut on. Typically what you're going to want to do when you're doing this, if you're using the same differential, which we're not, we replaced this differential, you're going to put a marking on each of the screws that you take off. When you go back to reinstall it, you'll make sure you put the bolt back in the hole that it was supposed to be in. Because we're using a new diff and new axles, that does not matter for us. We got some fresh hardware, so should be good to go. So you're going to have to release your e-brake and engage it several times. When you torque these down, you need the resistance, but you're gonna need to spin it so you can obviously get your wrench into position. So it helps to have a friend. But you gotta have a friend. What happens when you get these new axles, you're gonna have some zip ties that you're gonna need to break because they don't want these separating while they're being shipped. So if your zip tie broke, it's lined up. Sometimes you might need to give these a little bit of motivation to get into the hole.
Puts the lotion on its skin. No!
8mm hex. I see people installing stuff on videos with impacts. Just don't do that. I just see people zipping it up, and you know, you can't feel if that's cross-threading. If you're doing it by hand, you're going to be able to know if you're cross-threading it. There is no torque sequence for these bolts. They torque down to 53 pounds. So basically we just get 2 in at a time, get them snug up on there, torque them down once we have all of them in there. Number 50 pound-feet.
And those
foot-pounds, sorry.
And those are for each bolt that you just saw Derek install. 50 pound-feet of pressure.
You may feel a little pressure.
This nut right here, which is this nut right here, needs to be torqued down to 213 pound-feet. how to explain what the fuck happened. Okay, so my differential was making a really loud clunking when I was shifting. It's not doing that anymore. Basically what had happened was it had gotten some slack in the part that connects to the drive shaft. So what we did was take an old diff that I have from a car, we put new fluid in it, or new diff oil. And then when we were taking the old axles off, they broke, so we replaced the axles. When we went to the AutoZone, they gave us 2 of the same side axles, and I didn't even think about it. And put them both on. We had 2 shorter axles, so it actually was able to bolt up onto the longer side. Drove it about maybe 100 yards away from the house and snapped the axle on the passenger side because they had given us 2 driver's side axles. So that's why in the video we only showed you us doing just the 1 axle, because obviously we didn't want to have to take it out. We probably should have just done a video on the whole thing, but you know, but now it works. We just did some burnouts. We're going through the canyon. Look at these red trees. Pretty spectacular out here in the good old state of Utah.
We were in Mexico when we were doing the burnouts though.
Yeah, we drove down to Mexico real quick
Just to do some donuts and then came back. Hey guys, I actually made it home already. Mission accomplished. We finally got his axle installed on the IS300. Again, this is a 2003. They're pretty much the same from like 2001 to 2004 or 5. Sorry if I'm wrong there. But yeah, it was a pretty easy install. We went for a little cruise after to show you guys that we installed it right. And yeah, look out for more content like this. Any installs that we're doing. He has a build currently, another IS300 that's going to be the drift build. So we're gonna be working on that a lot. Hopefully in the meantime, I'll be working towards getting my own seat time car, and we'll be working on that. I appreciate you guys tuning in though. Thank you so much. If you liked the video, please press like at the very bottom. Subscribe if you like me, like the channel and kind of what I'm aiming for. And look out for more content. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time. Woo!